You are married and you have a problem. Most times when you go for therapy, you go to counselors, or just talk to, a friend nearby, there is one thing people always tell you when you have a problem in your relationship. They tell you, love yourself. Hello. Let's stop telling people to love themselves, because I want us to really dive into this because it's heavy. Love yourself might sound easy, but it's not, because it doesn't replace the need to be loved by your partner. I'm talking about this because I'm focusing more on relationship marriages. Even for this single people, this can be a truth. Because when you're in a relationship, it's not supposed to be a solo partnership. You're supposed to partner with the person that you love. And most times when things get sour in a relationship, you're told to love yourself. And that sounds like unloving the other person. Most times you find that these are people that you've loved season in, season out, all your life, and they have loved you back. At a certain point, they stopped loving you. And people think it's just easy to just use the word love yourself. And I want to say this because personally, I failed to understand the logic behind that. I love me. I love me, but I also love that person. I give that person my heart, my identity. I've given them my body. I've given them everything. I love them too. They have become part of me. So for me to love myself also means to love them. So what are you going to tell me to do that is not done yet? And I think that's the one thing I want us to actually practically consider before we tell people to love themselves, because I've seen women who have it all. They have the houses, the cars, you know the big jobs, but everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants love to be reciprocated, and that is what we should be preaching, not love yourself, because it is so hard to even now talk to people about what you're going through, because they rush into believing that you don't love yourself, or you're in that relationship because you don't love yourself, because now it's easy to just say, oh, maybe let me walk away. But let's define what loving yourself really means and how contradicting this is. In marriages, most times you're told that, oh, it's not your husband's work to love you. No, it's his job. It's his job to love me, because the Bible tells me that he was created to love me just like Christ loved the church. So I don't know where that is coming from. It is your job to love me. Don't get it twisted, because that is really because we are oversimplifying facts and making them look like lies. Oh, it's not his job to complete you. Of course, I am complete by myself, but I'm also reminded that when Christ created man and woman, his work was complete when I came into picture. So for that, so many people are no longer honest with their feelings. You cannot go to people and tell them how you feel. Oh, my husband hurt me. Oh, I feel like my relationship, yeah, this man is not reassuring me. And people are like, oh, you know what? You don't need people to reassure you. You have to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you don't need someone to tell you how beautiful you are. No, I need someone to tell me how beautiful I am, because it does something to me. It makes me want to be in this relationship. Actually, let's get this. I don't want this to get twisted up. What does it mean to have self-love in a relationship? How should it look like before people be like, oh, you don't have self-love? You think he doesn't love you because you don't have self-love? No. I want us to talk about what self-love should look like, because so many people think self-love is you now loving yourself, loving from within, and just, detach from your partner. And that's where the problem is coming. I think I know self-love is you being honest with yourself. Is you telling yourself, I don't feel loved in this relationship, so I need to express my emotions. I need to let this person know that I need to be reassured more. That is self-love. Because now other people think self-love is saying, you know what, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to tell him how I feel. You know, I'm just going to bottle it up. It's not going to help you. You're going to explode. We are misunderstanding what self-love is in the context of marriage. Secondly, self-love is you allowing what you need to matter. I need emotional connection. I need to be valid. You tell that person that. That is self-love. But now we are told no. When you tell him that you need emotional connection, or when you over attach yourself to him, when you show him that you're so needy, then no. Emotional connection matters to me in this relationship, and I need that. That is me caring for myself, because that helps me love you more. That helps me, it fuels me, it keeps me feeling wanted, it keeps me feeling loved. Self-love is understanding that you're not wrong for loving someone, even if they're not loving you back. And that for people to think that because you have failed to judge this person for the way they treat you, that you don't love yourself, I think that's where the problem is for me. I want us to understand that everyone is talking about, oh, love yourself first. Love yourself first. Put yourself first. For me, I've put myself first so many times. But the way I understand it, I started a business. I have a thriving business. I'm loving myself. Look at me. I clean up. I take care of myself. Spiritually, I'm taking care of myself. But there is that yearning. There is that need for my partner. I didn't marry to just be here playing gigs and games. And no, I married to enjoy. Marriage is supposed to be fun. Marriage is supposed to be joy. I do not know what is happening. But one thing I know, that when you tend into self-love in a marriage, and depending on what your definition of self-love is, you find that you feel lonely. The truth is, self-love will not replace that love, that void to need your partner to see you. You might be confident, you might feel good for a moment, but still it is emotionally straining. It is emotionally draining to love yourself, knowing that someone should be pouring into that cup. It will never be enough. That's why you see, whether you want it or not, guys, we're going to stop girls from getting married. They are hearing marriage is hard. Women are saying marriage is this, but look at the numbers. Girls are still getting married, because the whole point is God created woman and man for partnership, to love each other. God is love. Love is it. It doesn't matter the version of love you're talking about, whether brotherly or sister, even a brother and a sister, they need to keep reassuring themselves. Have you not seen when people say in their families, oh, me, I'm going to love myself? They push their family away. So now, what are we going to do? You're married. Don't strain yourself. You have the right to feel the way you feel and to tell someone how you feel. That is you loving yourself, not you closing yourself off and denying yourself to feel in the name of, oh, I want to love myself. Guys, it's training. Been there, felt it. And you say the thing about self-love is that most times you start to take care of yourself. I can buy myself clothes, or I can do things for myself. And you're in a relationship where your husband is supposed to provide. He might be, he's supposed to at least, plan a date and do all this. Many women, for example, they're not taking care of themselves. And so many times it's because now they started questioning themselves. Am I too loved? Am I over depending? Am I, am I maybe so, attached to him? Should I, maybe change the way I behave? No, you don't have to shrink yourself to be loved. You deserve love. You're in a relationship to be cared for, loved, and be seen. So for you to think self-love is you maybe thinking, oh, you know what, let me do it for myself because I don't want to depend on them. No, depending on that person is actually self-love. As much as I might sound like I'm contradicting, he's supposed to buy you things. He's supposed to take you out. You're supposed to cook for that man. Yes, because if those things give you joy, I mean, I love cooking for my husband. Like, it's for me, it's self-love. Like cooking for my husband and just seeing him eat makes me so happy. It makes me feel like, oh, I'm actually doing the right thing. Now, him appreciating me, now that nourishes my heart. But everyone is saying something. I'm getting confused. That's what I'm saying. What are we going to do? What does self-love look like to you? I want you to comment below. So if you're in a marriage and you think self-love means loving yourself and ignoring the need to be loved, then you are suffering. Mostly if you actually want that love. You need to understand that you deserve to be loved and not just be the one giving love. You deserve and you need to ask for it. If I come to you and I'm telling you that I'm having a problem, I'm having an issue with my husband, I'm not happy, don't tell me to love myself. Because me, I have learned to love myself through loving him. And I know that some guys will be like, oh my God, this. Let me tell you, that is it. You do not know the burden of being married and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm loving myself. You know what? I don't want to talk to him. Like you're pretending like you're okay, but you're not. I am praying to God that may we learn self-love through giving love to the people that we have in our lives. But I know some of those people might not give back love. That's when you have to make the decision either to stay or leave. But if you're going to stay, keep demanding for that love. And when you get tired of asking them to love you, that's when now you become self-centered. Self-centered is the word. So my name is Petra Odeta. Thank you so much for subscribing, sharing, and liking this video in advance. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be blessed.